Mm. So, you guys, beautiful people within, those of you that are working on yourself from within, I just wanted to come on here and talk. For those of you with ears that listen, spiritual ears, because not all of us have ears. Anyway, another topic for another video. But I have been wanting to talk about this more and more, about self-development and self-healing. Majority of all my videos are about that. And no, I don't come off with proper English or have the aesthetics set up for you guys to, be ready to record and shoot like that. But, I just rather walk and talk because that is usually what I do with me and God. Because we're never alone. You're always with God, and He's always with you because He is within you. So I just wanted to shed light on, self-development and how it is set in play to allow us to grow in life instead of just going through patterns of the same circle, um, not learning to manage our emotions, not learning to take care of ourselves mentally, by what we eat, by what we listen to, by what we look at. Everything that we consume consumes us. So you have to be intentional with what you watch, what you hear. If you're gossiping, the environments that you're in, the people that you're around, are they adding to you or are they subtracting you? The people that you are in relationships with, are you both growing? Because when you're in a relationship, it is a team. But this is all the things that you learn when in your singleness. When you become whole in your singleness, God will bring up someone for you. He'll be working on someone that fits for you, you know? So therefore, you need to be working on yourself during your singleness. Become whole in your singleness. Not desperate, not hungry, you know, just waiting patiently in your singleness, enjoying your time and your relationship that you are building with God and yourself. Because we're so quick, and I say this all the time, we're so quick to want relationships when we don't even know what a relationship consists of because we're not consistent with ourselves. We don't have a relationship with ourselves. We don't hold ourselves accountable for what we do. So it's hard for us to try to hold the next person accountable and try to force them to be a certain way that we can't even uh, patiently change ourselves. You know what I'm saying? If you get what I'm saying. You just got to become whole with you and God. You got to build that foundation because we are always getting out of relationships, ready to get into the next relationship, carrying bags into the next relationship, you know. And if you're anything like me, my first relationship, I wasn't even in a right state of mind to even be in a relationship due to I didn't know what a relationship consists of. I didn't know how to be consistent with myself. We were growing up, and I don't blame myself or blame anyone else, but I am glad that God convicted my heart and made me aware of me and what was inside of me and how I was operating from a broken heart. and my life was a reflection of my brokenness. The experiences, the situations that I had acquired, that started up, that I was in, was a reflection of my brokenness. Now, when we become healed and build our relationship in God and working on ourselves, working on our mind, your body, brain, and brand, you are so consumed in that time in your life that you're not desperately seeking for validation or for a relationship or, for someone to like you. You're not forcing any relationships. You're just letting it be because you are following the path that God has set out for you. So, if you stay on that path, what's for you will come into alignment with you, So then that will tell us, with the new information and meditating on God's word, He puts a protection around you, So your discernment and intuition will light up and let you know when you're in something you don't have no business in, when you're too far away from yourself by connecting with someone that is not supposed to be connected to you. But we have to become aware of ourselves. So right now, if you're not at this point, but you want to become at this point, it is a journey. There's no destination, but there is progress. And you will continue to see progress. Therefore, you will know that God is on your side, But to start this journey off, you should just become aware of your behaviors, your daily habits, your routine. The people that you're around, are they adding to you or are they subtracting from you? Are you always in some messed up situation that's chaos and toxic and full of drama? Like, how are you participating in that? You got to look at who you're around because that is a reflection of you. Yeah, birds of a feather flock together. Eagles don't flock with pigeons. Pigeons flock with pigeons. Eagles don't come down to a pigeon level because a pigeon did something wrong. No, a pigeon continues to rise higher and fly way higher than a pigeon. So, yeah, if you're around people that still gossip all the time, cheating on their boyfriend, just be drinking all the time, smoking all the time. Now, I'm not saying a person got to be perfect, but you have to pay attention because energy transfers. And you got to understand all the birds of a feather, all a birds of a feather always, these bugs, y'all, do you see them? Messing me up. So, can I get it out? All the birds that flock together start acting like each other. They are compatible with each other. So, if you're not acting one way yet, but your friend that you hang with on a daily basis always acts like this, then it won't be too long before you start acting like how they're acting, So you got to be mindful and intentional about the people that you surround yourself with, the people that you call friends, family. This go for family too. We got to learn to love from a distance. And we have to understand while on this journey, we're forgiving. We're learning how to forgive not only ourselves, but the people that did hurt us when we weren't in control of it. And the people that have hurt us, in situations that we have participated in. So it's like a wilderness of a healing journey that you come out of the other end always growing, always learning, always teaching, always reflecting, always trying to become better than you were yesterday. Now, if you are doing this, you have to be journaling, because that's the only way that you could keep up with yourself, or doing videos like this consistently. And that's one thing I have to work on myself, because when you working on yourself, it's not easy. When you look at yourself in the mirror at your own fault, it's not pretty. You see some things that you be like, wow, I gotta work on this. You know, God, fix my heart, heal my spirit, make me more like you. You have to be speaking these affirmations so your subconscious can start reacting and getting your behaviors aligned with your affirmation, with the word of God, with how God sees you. Because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And when you put that in your mind and you meditate on that, you will build your confidence on top of everything else you're adding to your path to become a better version of yourself. It's a tough one. It's not pretty. You will then see and understand why a lot of people choose not to work on themselves, because it is hard. You uncover a lot of memories that were suppressed over time. Memories that caused feelings of pain, right? And we all know when you bury feelings that are alive, they never die. So when you soon hit them, when the memories come up to your conscious mind, yeah, you'll be going through something. Yeah, it's not pretty. A lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of people do not record their journey and really say what they're going through along this journey of building a relationship with God, on becoming a better version of yourself, you know, fixing your character, which the core of it is in your subconscious mind that's connected to your heart. So we got to get together. We got to learn more healthy ways to cope, and understanding the ways that you are coping right now. And if you continue to cope in the ways that you're doing right now, 5 years from now, where will you be? How will your life look? You can tell when you write it all down. And people think that they can be consistent and not grow, and that's true. You can be consistent and be complacent at the same time by just working a job every day, coming home, not really doing the things that you know you should be doing. Because it is stuff that we know that we should be doing, and stuff that we don't know that we should be doing. But along this path of building a relationship with God, all this will come up. God will give you insight on situations that broke you. So you can then be able to reframe it so it can exist in another state, in a higher state, with no pain attached to it. Because now you have insight, you have understanding, you have knowledge. You put that all in here to come to that understanding. So now you know how to move. You will see a lot of broken people once you become healed. You will look into other people's situations differently. You won't judge people by their behavior. You would know that their behavior is just a symptom from from what's really going on within them internally. And some people know that by studying human behavior. Some people know that just by working on themselves and looking at their own reflection, so they know what they see in a person to be true because they looked at themselves. And we are all human. Yeah. This is why they can stay calm. Now, I ain't saying that once you get whole and healthy, you're going to be perfect. No, some people are going to get you at a point, but it ain't going to be a point that they could have got you when you were broken. When you was out there, oh, you ready to fight. That type of them type of choices, you're not even looking for. You won't even head into that direction to even want to make choices like that. Because it's spiritual warfare out here, and you will understand that the more you heal and connect with God, you will know. Not only that, oh Lord, what was I just finna say? Not only that, when you see people that are not connected to God, Jesus, you have to understand that they're not tapped into their spiritual mind. Those people are operating off of brokenness. So you have to be careful, because when you operate from brokenness, you blind and you bleeding and you can't see it, but everybody else can see you. Okay? Everybody else can see you. But I want the people to know that don't be thinking that a person that's not tapped into their spiritual mind, don't have a connection with God, can forgive you. Because you can't. You can't forgive when you operating off of a carnal mind. You can't forgive in the flesh and blood. No, the flesh and blood wants what it wants. You got to have God in you, around you, to be able to forgive, to soften your heart. God can only do those things. God can only do those things. And with the grace that he gives you, the power, the strength, all the strategies is within you if you connect with him. But please understand that it's a lot of people operating from a carnal mind, making choices that they flesh and their mind is choosing off of their emotions that they cannot control and do not understand because they haven't connected with God. They cannot forgive you. They are holding it in. And this is how the devil uses the people that's closest to you to try to hurt you, because he knows that they cannot see what they're doing. They're blinded by their behavior. And if you know this, then you know how to function when you're around people of the world. Because God said, be in the world, but not conformed of the world. Be in this world, but don't be conformed to this world. And this is what he says when he says, forgive them, for they not know what they do. Because they're blinded. They're operating off of hurt and pain. So cute.
Oh, we're just trying to keep them from you because they're super friendly.
Yeah, it's fine.
What are you doing? Oh, it's got a horn.
People with their dogs. You know, that's one thing you learn too when you're on your healing journey, is to be able to be approachable. Not in the form of being seductive and somebody trying to holler at you or you trying to get somebody's attention, but be aware of your face expression, how you looking throughout the day. Because a lot of people be like, oh, this is just how I look. No, they be looking like that. And let me say we, because I used to be like this all the time. We look like that because of whatever's going on in our mind. So if you walk around like this all day, ain't nothing good coming from you. Nah, what's up in your mind? What you got going on? Some people stare at you like this and don't even smile, but a stare. You know, people need to understand that. Your actions are a form of communication. You're saying something with your face expression. So you need to be mindful of how you look and how you're looking. And this makes you stay on top of what you're thinking about in the time your face all messed up. You know? Don't be getting offended because somebody say you're not smiling. Just be like, oh, I wasn't. And then think back on what you was thinking about before someone said that to you. What was the thought in your mind? You know? Write it down. Go from there. Because sometimes we don't even know how many thoughts we think of in a day. I think it's 6,000, 7,000. You got to make sure your thoughts is in line so you can have good behavior, you know, a good response. You want to be mindful of your thoughts because thoughts will creep up on you and destroy your whole mood for the day. But you need to call those things that are not for you, cast them down, them thoughts, because a lot of those thoughts are things that we cannot control. So we need to be thinking about what we can control and go from there. So, beautiful people within, those of you that are working on yourself within, I hope I wasn't all over the place. I just really want to push, self-development, because that's the path that I am on right now. Just being more aware of my choices, my actions, my thoughts, my day-to-day routine, my time with God, my time with my kids, how I'm talking, thinking before I'm talking, understanding that words are powerful. So I always need to speak life into me and everyone else that is around me. So I pray to God I stay consistent with these videos because I struggle so much. And I don't know if this story can, I was finna end this, but let me just say this. I don't know if this story can relate to anyone. But sometimes when you working for the God, when you working for God, I think all the time, if you working for God and working on yourself with the help of God, the devil is gonna come for you, and he gonna try to steal your voice, and he gonna try to have you pay attention to everything that you think someone is gonna think of you, to try to stop you from doing what God has called you to do. So if God has called you to do something, and you feel like the devil has got a hold on your throat, whether you can say everything when you off camera, but as soon as you pop this camera on, it's like cloudy day. You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts coming up, and you can't even process and talk about what you want to say. So if you're in that situation, you got to keep meditating on God's word. Meditate on his word. Listen to sermons. If you cannot be consistent with God's word in the Bible, be consistent. Listen to a sermon, a pastor that speaks to your soul, your spirit, a pastor that is teaching you, not just preaching to you. So I pray I stay consistent with this. And I pray you guys continue to work on yourself from within, because God has great things in store for you. His house has many mansions, but we have to go on this walk with him. Love. Oh, yeah. And don't allow no one to make you feel bad because of your growth. Don't allow people to stop you because they get offended because of your truth that you choose to speak in a teachable way. Not in a bashing nobody, not in tearing nobody down. Just a situation or a life experience that have happened to you that you know that it can help someone else. So don't let nobody stop you from speaking your truth.